U.S. immigration attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your questions. I also come with a good topic. And today I have a question for you. Are you undocumented in the United States? And are you feeling like Cinderella? Now, Cinderella is a fairy tale. And when I talk about are you feeling like Cinderella, I'm not talking about the happy ending to the story. I'm talking about the struggles, the part where Cinderella had to struggle through dealing with unfair treatment, dealing with being treated like a slave in her own home, before she met Prince Charming and escaped that situation. Hopefully, she escaped that situation and lived happily ever after. So that's the part I'm talking about. Is the reason I am talking about this is because there's immigration relief for individuals who are going through situations similar to what this character Cinderella went through. So let's go over it a little bit, right? So Cinderella was she lived with her father, who then married her wicked stepmother. Unfortunately, her father passed away. So he was the one person that loved her, that took care of her, that spoiled her, and he passed away. So she was left with that wicked stepmother and her two ugly stepsisters. And instead of turning around and raising her with respect and dignity and with fairness, this wicked stepmother turned around and turned her into a slave. So she put her to work in the house every day. And Cinderella tried to make the best of it. She was kind hearted. She tried to look at things positively, but it doesn't change the fact that she was abused. Now, at and when we talk about abuse, she was called names. She was made fun of by the stepsisters. She was told to clean for everyone in the house. She was treated differently from everyone else because she was treated that way because she didn't have anybody to look out for her. She was without her parents, both of her parents, her father specifically, and so they felt like they could do this to her. This is similar to what some undocumented immigrants go through. They are here. And even if you're not undocumented, by the way, if you're just here, you may be here on a student visa, you may be here on a visitor's visa, you may be here undocumented, but you are in the household with, it could be relatives, could be friends of the family, could be even your own parents, God forbid, but this I've seen. It could be aunts and uncles, could be brothers and sisters, that you have to stay here and live with them. So you are under their control in their household. And one of the conditions they have for you is that if you're going to stay with them, they're going to use you to the maximum. They're going to make you do the work in the house. They're going to make you work for their business if they have a business. They're going to take your money where maybe you earn money outside of the house. They're going to force you to give them your money. They're going to force you to take care of the children in the house because they feel like you need to do this, right? That is your payment to them for them. This is the way they're looking at it. Like they're the ones that are doing you the favor. They're accommodating you. So you have to do all of this for them. And if you are in a situation where you never came for that, so this friend of the family, this acquaintance, this aunt, this uncle, they may have promised you or promised to your parents or your caretaker that they would take you, they'll put you in school, they will make sure that you get a good job. And then when you get here, it's a completely different story. They may be putting you through school, but at the same time, they're forcing you to do work that you weren't willing to do, things in the house. Housework is work, by the way. So don't think that because they're making you do household chores, that that's not making you work. That's work. And it's unfair. The housework should not be given to you just because you're the person without the status in the household, and so they figure you have to do this for everyone else. So if you are in this situation where you're really not willing, but you feel like you have to do it because you don't have anywhere else to go. You may be afraid of what's going to happen to you. They may even be threatening you, not threatening physical violence. I've seen that too, but they may be threatening that if you don't do any of this stuff, they're going to take away your right to be in the US. They're going to send you back to your country. They may even take your documents, your identifying documents, such as your passport, to make sure that they continue to maintain control of you. So, if you're going through a situation like this, just know that there's immigration relief through the T visa. Now, the T visa allows you to stay here, escape the situation if you have not escaped already, and then you are able to move forward with your work permit for 4 years, and then eventually be able to get your permanent residence after 3 years, sometimes even sooner. So you can apply for adjustment of status to get the green card sooner on the T visa in some cases, depending in some cases. However, if in other most cases, you're gonna go ahead and apply for your permanent residence after 3 years of being in the United States. So it's an option here that not a lot of people know is available to them. So go ahead, give my office a call. We can evaluate what your situation is. Now, even if this happened, say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, okay, so I'm seeing no sound. Let me know if that's the case or if it returns. Sometimes it returns. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go out. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna see if the sound comes back. And please let me know quickly. Has the sound come back? If it hasn't, I'm going to leave and have to sign back in. Just let me know. Sometimes it comes back, and so let me know. Let me know. Put it in the comments. Let me know. Okay, good. I don't have to come out. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so I'm gonna make this quick because I have to charge this and I don't have my charger on me right now, and so it's gonna go out again. So go ahead, give the office a call, schedule your appointment. Go to the link in the profile where you can schedule your appointment. Quickly put your questions in the comments and I will answer it. Just know that you have this option. You have this option available. Go to the link in the profile. You'll see everything you need to make your appointment. Thanks so much for letting me know and your patience as I sorted out the technical difficulties on Instagram. Hi there, Caroline. It's always good to see you as usual. Do you know anything about SB 1718 yet? So I had a whole live on this, and it is a scary bill. So it is a bill that basically outlaws human beings in Florida if you do not have immigration status. If you overstayed your status, that includes you. If you overstayed your visa, if you enter the country without permission, that includes you. Now, what this does is it outlaws, it prohibits anyone from essentially helping undocumented immigrants. So you can't drive with an undocumented immigrant, you can't live with an undocumented immigrant, and you can't employ an undocumented immigrant. And then it also requires hospitals to gather information about one's immigration status. Um, Crazy things are happening in Florida, and so I would not be surprised if this passes fairly quickly. And it is set to go. They are going now. The session ends, I believe, in May. So they are likely to vote on this, and it looks like it's going towards being passed. I don't know There are so many industries here that depend on undocumented immigrants to thrive. And so I don't know how that's going to work for so many businesses that are able to strengthen their workforce by employing immigrants, right? And there are also other dangers here with this type of bill. I work and represent victims of trafficking. And I am telling you this, that if this passes, it is going to it's going to worsen the trafficking issue, because people now, undocumented immigrants, are not they're going to be afraid to report what they've been going through. They're going to not realize that the employer or an individual is abusing them, because they're just grateful that this person is keeping them, not reporting them. Now you could get more threats that they're going to be reported for being undocumented. And these lead to trafficking. It's going to worsen the issue of trafficking. It's already bad here in Florida, and it's going to get worse. So, look out. Now they are issuing travel advisories to immigrants. Never thought I'd see this day, but they are looking at issuing travel advisories against coming to Florida. It's not safe, especially for undocumented immigrants, to be here. It's not safe, as a matter of fact, right now, to be any sort of particular group. Because as a Black individual, there's a lot of scary things going on here. As a gay individual, there are a lot of scary things going on here. As a transgender, there are a lot of scary things going on here. So it's, many different groups are being targeted here. And so we have a number of different organizations issuing travel advisories for a state in the United States. So that's my take on it. And I'll definitely give you an update as soon as I get an update on this bill in Florida. All right. I'm going to quickly answer questions before it goes away again. How can a person on a student visa get residency without getting married? So there are a number of options. There are over 21 ways to get the green card, but is one of those going to fit you? And that's going to depend on your particular circumstances. Can you get residency without getting married? I'd have to do a consultation. Go to the link in the profile. You'll be able to see everything you need to schedule your appointment there. On Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, you'll see the number going across the screen. Go ahead, call, schedule, and then also in the description of the video, you'll see the link there. I'd like to schedule a consultation for tomorrow, but there is no available time. So, unfortunately, if there's no available time, it means that you have to schedule another day. It means that my I have a number of other engagements and consultations already in place. So you have to just look for the next available time, and you can call and the office will be more than happy to help you with availability. So my schedule is filling up. So if you need help, go ahead and schedule right away so we can evaluate what your situation is and get started ASAP. Uh, All right. Thanks so much for your patience on Instagram as I fix that issue. How can a person, oh, so I answered that already. Can you be deported if your case is with USCIS? Certainly, now if it's with USCIS, it means that it is within the jurisdiction of the USCIS, and a court is less likely to be referred to for deportation when it's already before the USCIS. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't, and if you have a case before the USCIS, there are ways to go back to the court to say this case is pending. Can they either terminate or continue the proceedings, meaning delay the proceedings until the USCIS makes a decision? So it's less likely, but also depends on what's before the USCIS. If I didn't file a J1 waiver, file for green card, and they send an RFE, will that cancel my application? So they will go ahead and they're going to, if you don't have a waiver, a J1 waiver, and you need one, then that is going to put your green card in danger. The question is, are you subject usually to the 2-year foreign residency requirement for the J1? If you are, then there are waivers available. If not, then you're not supposed to be if you get a request for evidence, you have to respond, but then, legally, you'd be able to argue that it doesn't apply to you. You can schedule that appointment and we can talk more about what's necessary here. When you get a response from the Department of State saying they receive your information, how long before you get a date? So it is taking a while. Now, the Department of State is in the National Visa Center. I'm seeing the entire process takes about 18 to 24 months, and it takes about a year and a half to get that interview date. Thanks for the love, by the way. I appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. If my stepmom is a US citizen and your father is a resident here, can they marry when I was 23 and she can file for me? No, you would have to be under 18 at the time that they filed. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. If you have a US registered business but not living or based in the US, how can I legally live and work for the US for the business in the US? You have to get a visa. There are different types of visas or status available. If you are from an E2 treaty investor country such as Jamaica, Trinidad, Grenada, then you can apply for an E2 treaty investor visa. That's a temporary visa, but it allows you to run your business while being here, and I would be more than happy to assist you with that. There's also the investment green card. So if you invest a certain amount in the business, so if that's 900,000, and or more, if you're doing a personal business, then you could get that green card too. So go ahead, schedule, and we can talk. How can a person get extension in the U.S. if they had a baby and the baby's hospitalized? Great question. I have done this for my clients. It's called medical deferred action. Get in touch with me. I'd be more than happy to submit this on your behalf. I need to find out where you are, because it's either you get an extension for your visa. If you have already overstayed the time, then you could get what's called medical deferred action. Go ahead, call, and we can look into that. How long does it take to get a work permit while waiting on interview date? So it ranges. It depends on the type of green card interview you're waiting on. Marriage based, you're looking at the shortest I've had is 2 weeks, but average 3 to 6 months. But if you are getting the, say, VAWA, then it's going to be up to a year to get that. So 6 months to a year to get that. So I am DS Dillon is the E2 Treaty Investor Visa. They usually call it E2 visa. All right. So that's going to be it for me today. So short and sweet. Go ahead, schedule the consultation. If you need to get assistance with your case, that's going to be the best way to go. Because remember, the information I'm giving you here is not personalized legal advice. Tomorrow, I will be back to go ahead and talk to you about a topic, and you can come with your questions. If I didn't get to your question today, tomorrow is going to be the day where I can address your questions. All right. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your time. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.